Hello, welcome to BackChat, powered by Paywise, powered by Hammer this season.
Yeah,
of
thanks,
course,
Hammer.
Thanks,
Paywise,
guys.
greatest employee of all time.
Yeah, seriously, the world's greatest employees.
Welcome, everybody. Big show coming up. We've got co-captain Oscar Allen joining us very shortly. Straight off the plane, I believe. Big commute back from over east, business class, no doubt. He'll be joining us. We'll have Rob from the Sash Essendon's fan podcast going head-to-head with Dan a little later on the show. You're a bit... Rob's a good bloke.
Rob's a great bloke.
You're not happy after the West Coast
No
loss.
idea who he is.
It's a good thing that I'm not happy about the West Coast loss because it means I have some hope back in my team, and when we lose, it sucks.
Yep.
That's a good point. There's a few issues going on as well. Optus Stadium Oval. The grass.
It was shit,
It
wasn't
looks
It's
absolutely
putrid.
god-awful.
Has it ever been good? It's been 6
The grand
years.
final was
18 was good.
18 was great.
21 was good.
Yeah. Actually, weren't they wasn't everyone doing Syndesmosis there early?
This year's
Because
poor.
it was way too
that's
hard,
right,
and then
it
they've
was.
obviously softened it up, and now it's shit.
It's like Telstra Dome when they put that out. Colonial Stadium.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like playing on the car park. Now, Hammer, you are working wonders, I'm assuming, over at Paywise.
Yeah, massive wonders there.
Any updates? We lost Shane.
We did lose Shane, but
That's
we've got Adam.
Adam Brown?
Adam Brown, yep. Adam
Yeah, good.
put it in the
Adzi.
chat. Adzi put it in the chat on Friday afternoon and
Right. So he joined us from YouTube
said...
Live.
He joined us from YouTube Live and said, literally just got a quote from Hammer. Adzi's come back to me today.
Great.
And we're pushing buttons.
Great. Is he
With
looking
Adzi.
EV? Is he looking big?
Nah, he's
small?
looking for a Hyundai Kona EV. So
Ooh, those look nice.
He gets all the tax benefits there. He's
Yeah.
saving. I'm not going to obviously tell you what he's...
Is that what I've asked about?
Nah,
Something
you've
similar?
asked about something. It's similar, but a bit different.
Okay.
Anyway, Adzi's saving the house down. I'm talking, he's saving money. He's saving. He could.
Is Adzi up and about?
Adzi's up and about. He could buy a brand new Hyundai Kona if he wanted to with all his tax savings. He won't do that because he'll be Novotetting himself one. But he's come back to me today. Hammer, I want a tow bar on the end of it. He went back to the dealer, got a quote with that. Gets that tax deductible. Of
course.
So ticking a lot of boxes.
He's ticking boxes. Adzi and I back forth, bang, bang, sending the finance application. We are just cruising along.
Let's go.
So Adam Brown, I'm sure Ads is listening at the moment. Actually, no, he's not. He gets off work at 6:30 because he's on FIFO. He's on swing. So he'll listen to this tomorrow when he's on the job, I assume, and we'll be pushing more buttons then.
Powered by Paywise this
Powered by
year.
Hammer.
Get more from your salary by paying less tax. Paywise can show you how. Hammer can show you how.
I can show you how. If you need me to show you how, I can show you
You
how.
okay? You hurt yourself on the weekend?
Yeah, did a little quad, unfortunately. Just a little minor quad, but I've got, they're massive.
Yeah,
So
huge. Plenty of
there's
quad
lots
to go
tear.
around.
Yeah, heaps to tear.
Boys, without further ado, I'd like to get straight into our
Let's
big
go.
Why
discussion.
wouldn't we?
All
Yeah.
right, so everyone's here for him. Oscar Allen, the mighty leader, fearless leader of the West Coast Eagles. Thanks to ID Athletic, they will bring you anything you need from merch to teamwear to supporter wear.
Are we?
Has
can
to
I-
be clothing
Can I just
related,
throw
though, I
this out there?
imagine,
doesn't
I don't know if we're allowed
Not
to
anything you need.
to say this. Yeah, aren't we getting like some slides?
Absolutely. Slides are on the
Getting
way.
slides.
Bucket hats are on the way.
Yeah,
We've
let me
got
reiterate,
dwarves.
that has to be anything you need, clothing related. Not anything you need. If you need a table, I don't think
I
they'd
wouldn't
get
be
you one.
surprised if they get you something. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll find you something.
IDAthletic.com, bring you everything. Go check it out. Oscar Allen, they're bringing us him right now. Well, fresh off the plane from the weekend's game, very, very good man. The captain of the co-captain of the West Coast Eagles joins us, Oscar Allen. Hello, Oscar.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Scars Dan. How are we?
Very good.
mate. But we haven't had Aussie on BackChat
been
for
a
a
minute.
long time. We let him recover.
I think we owe it to Ozzy to bring him back into the studio and like do another episode with him, like a proper one.
Was he our
because
first?
He was one of the first, and we weren't even really videoing it at the time. And so now we have a proper setup. I think we should bring him back in and do it again.
What do you think, Oscar?
You give me the date and time, we'll be there.
All right.
You
great.
also weren't captain back then either, but I mean, that doesn't really change much in my eyes. Mate, little recap on the game. Clearly disappointing.
Welcome back.
To lose that one. Yeah, welcome back. How did it feel out there for you, mate? You've missed a lot of footy this year. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you watched the game. The first half, I was as rusty as you could get. I almost had to get a tetanus shot at halftime. It's funny. Like, you do as much training as you can, and to be fair, that's been 14 weeks to 3.5 months. And physically, I felt fit and ready to go, and then just my touch was a little bit off. But I was pretty happy with how I played in the second half, and then obviously as a team, like, it is disappointing because, like, Essendon top 4 side, we go away from home. We're a kick away from beating them with 5 minutes to go, and then it blows out a little bit late. But yeah, once again we show signs of improvement but don't win. So it's bloody frustrating. I know it is for fans and that, because they hear, oh, we're improving, we're getting somewhere, and then you're still losing. So I'm eagerly aware of that. But personally, I'm just happy to play. Like, I've gotten the flight home with a smile on my face because I wasn't sitting on the couch watching.
Yeah,
I feel that. Get your hopes up as a fan, and then but it's all right. There's improvements. There's improvements. I'm a fan. I can say this.
You wanted to ask Oscar about captaincy.
About co-captaincy. I was just going to say that you were, like you said it. You were looking felt rusty. There was one mark that just went straight through the hands, but then straight after that, I think you locked back in, and I felt like, oh, he's back. So yeah, your second half was great. I did think
just some observations from down with the couch, mate. Just so you know, a ball went straight through.
I will just say, last time I performed some sort of physical activity in front of Oscar, he was throwing shade at me the entire time. I was throwing hoops up at the Wildcats game. Like, just went on the court afterwards because I'm a big dog. Yeah. And he said, "Yeah, I saw you brick a few." So I'm just going to return the favour. If I'm going to see your performance, we'll talk about it. I did notice when you guys ran out of the race, Duggo was leading the team, and I wondered if you were going to get he has had the limelight for a fair bit of time now. What was the chat around, like, who gets to do what? Because he also flipped the coin.
This is actually a good story. So
great.
I've gone to Duggo, and you have leadership meetings every week, and Simo basically had TV, Duggo and I, and said, "What do you guys want to do this week? Like, how do you want to merge Aussie back into the side?" And I just said, like, I just want to be a part of the 23 this week. I don't want to do the toss. I don't want to do the speech. I just want to be one of the boys. Like, I'll start taking over that stuff in the future. I just want to be part of it this week. And they go, "Sweet, no worries." So as we're running out, I'm next to Duggo, and I get halfway up the race, and I'm going, I've left my mouth guard in my bag, and I've sprinted back down inside the change rooms, searching through my bag, like, oh God, I forgot my mouth guard. And like, I've played with a mouth guard forever, so I was like, I'm not playing. Anyway,
someone get emergency.
Found my mouth guard, run back out, and then get out there, and then the boys are pissed themselves because Duggo reckons he was waiting in the banner for like 30 seconds, a minute for me, and they just went, oh, we'll go, he'll be fine. And then in the warm-up, I'm just having a laugh with Matt Innes, S&C, and some of the boys, and I was like, I can tell I haven't played in 15 weeks. So there's one thing I need to take with me out on the ground, and I've forgotten it. So, no, it was pretty funny.
It's good you made it out there. So I know how footy works. So, okay, so you weren't going to do the speech. Did you do the toss? Who tossed the coin?
Nah, Duggo did it as well. So I literally said to him, mate, you're the captain. You've been the captain all year. You run the show.
Great.
But I said to him, at the start of the year, we kind of had a funny agreement that whoever does the coin toss, if you win that game, you keep going. Yep. So incentivise. So if we won on the weekend, Duggo's doing the coin toss this week and that week. So Duggo did the toss, and I kicked 2 goals for, so I get to do it next week. So looking forward to it.
Mate, I saw you about 3 or 4 weeks ago at training, and I was gobsmacked. You look like some sort of Adonis, mate. You were glistening. You just sort of come back, start running. You were, and I don't mean, you weren't like, oh, gee, Oscar's put on a few kilos. I was like, Oscar Allen looks fit. You were wearing Josh Rotham's jumper, which may or may not have lent into that a little bit. But have you put any kilos on over this break you've had off from playing, or how's the rig in that regard?
Yeah, I've put on a bit of weight. I find it funny now that it's almost like voodoo to talk about players' weight.
Oh, sorry. Should I not have asked about that, Oscar?
Yeah, mate. You get arrested for that.
Yeah, I find it strange. I'll divulge. So I used to play at like 92, 93 kilos, and I'm up at about 96, 97 now. So I put on a few kilos and a bit stronger. I think collectively we all have. Like, I look at Jake's body as well. Like, Jake's a lot stronger than he has been in the past. And like, his physical contest work this year's been awesome and something that I've watched. And I thought, you know what, like, why don't I take the leap and put on a bit of extra weight as well, and not sacrifice a little bit of my aerobic stuff, because I can still maintain that, and that's always been my strength. But I think you can do both at the same time. So I put on a little bit of weight. I've trimmed a few kilos since I was out there, because as you just train more and play more, like, it falls off you a little bit. But yeah, I'm feeling strong, particularly in the upper body. That's where you put your focus on when you're in rehab. So yeah, it's been good.
How does it feel coming into this forward line? You've got second place in the common medal, the Loosh. He's kicked a lot of goals this year. Are you well aware that that's your position now? You're probably second, third tier in this forward line, mate. You might be the captain, right? All hail Oscar, but just make sure you know your place behind the Loosh, mate.
Well, it was funny. Yesterday I was getting a lot of this from Jake, like, get out of my face. So, he's actually been great, like, for the year he's had and the 12 months before it, like, he's handled himself so well, and like he's one of my best mates. So I'm just happy for him, and that's what I said to a couple of the boys this week, like Jaiden and Jakey, just like, what can I do to help complement you guys? Like, I don't really care about, you never really care about kicking goals or whatnot, but like, I just want to play. Like, I want to be out there and having fun with you guys. So what can I do to help you guys get better? Because hopefully Jack's so durable, and Jakey and I are both quite young in our careers, but hopefully we're doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. So let's get it right now and keep working towards how we want to play as a side. So, but Jake's been so impressive. Even yesterday, like, he was awesome. He's been the exact same person on field and off field. He's probably taken more of a leadership role, which as a teammate is been something I've really noticed. And yesterday, really directive and helping the boys out. So he makes my job easier as a skipper as well, because Duggo's got the midfield and back line sorted. Well, Duggo's got midfield, TB and Gov sorted out the backs. Yes. And now Jakey, Cripper, JD are sorting out the forwards. So I was just able to run around like a headless chook and have a bit of fun.
Sounds like a good gig.
I was speaking to Mark Lacroix on the weekend, and was speaking about you and the forward line structure and Jake specifically, the Loosh. You tell me from inside the club whether this is a good observation or not. I feel like Jake's actually been this sort of player for 3, 4, 5 years. Hard worker, like all of this stuff he's doing. Everyone sees the mark at the end of it all, and in the kick, the goal. But the work rate's actually been something in Jake's game that he's probably had forever. Like, I used to hate playing on him at training, but he just probably lacked. He honestly wasn't taking those marks. He was getting his hands to it, and he wasn't taking as many marks as he is this year. We're now seeing this year anything that goes near him, he marks, and he has a shot on goal. You mentioned he hasn't changed as a player. Would that be a right observation, that he hasn't changed too much as a player? He hasn't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, I think the first thing I'd say about Jake is he's played such a selfless role for the team. Like, in the last 5 or 6 years, I've been fortunate enough to, alongside JK and then JD, to play more of a deeper forward role. So you get more of those isolated looks in the front half. And Jake's been so sacrificial, helping support with our defence, which every team does with a high half forward. But like, you watch his waffle form in the last 5 years, he's doing now what he did in 2021, 2020, 2019. Like, he was having 30 and kicking 5 every week in waffle and was taking the mick out of it. And as you said, no one wants to play on him, because the last thing you want at training is someone who's just going to work his backside up the ground, beat you back to goals, and then tick back up the ball. But you're probably right. I think the last thing that comes to a good key forward is your hands. Like, once you get your hands sorted, you're perfect, right? Because you start with a good base of work rate, being a good contest player, like respecting the game aerially at ground level, which Jake does. And then when your hands start clicking, it's like the final piece of the puzzle comes together. Like, all that hard work is worth it because it just sticks. And then you get opportunities at goal, and Jake's always been a good kick as well. Like, he's pretty much a full package, and people always maybe thought, he was not that tall. He's the same height as JD, and JD's done it for 15 years, so I don't see why Jake can't do the same.
Pretty good career.
Yeah, he's clunking everything. Those hands are incrable. Love watching.
Any more for Oscar before we let him go?
Oh, well, look, I'm going to the game on Sunday, coming up against Hawthorn. So just please get a win. That's my only request. If that's possible.
Is that right?
Sounds good, mate. It's going to be a tough game. They are probably the form team of the comp.
Very good.
Sydney. Like, our mate Mitch has got him going really well, hasn't he? Like, he's built this culture of celebrating. Like, you watch how they celebrate and get around each other. I remember in pre-season, we were doing training drills, and the winner of the drill wasn't who won the actual footy. It was who had the best celebration afterwards. And like, I feel like that's the vibe that they've got there, and it just creates a conducive environment of everyone working together and celebrating each other's successes. So it's working for him. It's going to be a good challenge for us.
No doubt that's something you're trying to replicate inside your four walls. Before I let you go, and I'll never let you forget this, just remember when you debuted at AFL level, you were a backman, mate. So you may be up front, kicking goals and...
Captain of the club.
Look, I would say the way you played on the weekend, you kicked like a backman, mate, right? You didn't quite know where the big sticks were, right? And just don't forget where you came from. You're a backman.
Mate, my first 2 impacts of the game yesterday was just spoiling the ball because I knew I wasn't going to mark it. So that's the one thing I'll never lose. Mate, I think, all honesty, the best thing I've ever done in my footy career was playing down back to start because it just taught you exactly what I don't want to do as a backman.
Yes.
And then the areas you can excel as a forward. So I think every young key position player should play back and forward just to experience both sides of things.
Very generous with your time, mate. Thanks. We'll let you get back to sleep.
Thanks, boys. Have a good day.
Captain of
Oscar.
He speaks really well.
Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah, very good. Very well spoken.
He was a bit off with his accuracy, but that's okay. I'm going to have 6 shots. You kick 2-4, and the Lush kicked 3.
He could have kicked.
I think there's 2 snaps.
Imagine kicking 6 goals on your first game back.
And rightly so, you pointed out he did drop a mark
rusty,
there.
yeah.
You weren't happy with that.
Straight through his hands.
That was the first thing you had to say to Oscar Allen.
It was reminiscent of Jack Darling in the 2018 Grand Final.
Wow.
Dan's keeping receipts. Hey, just to finish up on this, the Lush.
Yeah, the
right?
The Lush.
Yep, the Lush is on the couch this evening. Now,
wow.
Now, once you're done watching BackChat, I'll be heading over to Fox Footy and watching the Lush.
Getting yourself on the couch. That's a big deal.
He doesn't love doing media. I think he's quite good at it, but he doesn't love it. Mate, I'd say that's close to the biggest sort of interview, like one of the biggest. You could have a BackChat and then
BackChat and that. And so
sometimes when they go on 360, they bring the player on. That would be
on the couch is probably the biggest that you can get without it being a bit more serious. Like I think the front bar is bigger, but it's funny.
Yes.
We're bigger and better.
Yeah. In all aspects.
And in all aspects.
In all aspects, I'm talking.
Yeah, all aspects. We are massive.
Huge.
Well endowed and just thick.
The dredger.
Yeah, girth.
Could I
size.
Could I take us to some YouTube comments just quickly before we move on? Firstly, Philip W says, please, and I'm sorry, Philip, but there was a pre-recorded interview, so I couldn't ask him this. Please ask Alan when he's going to keep his promise he made in 2019 of doing a chainsaw celebration after a goal. I've got 4 kids, all of whom have given up on him. Please restore their faith in you.
Holy shit.
Wow, 4 kids that have all given up on Oscar.
He's promised the chainsaw thing.
Shit.
I mean, the thing that was probably brought to my knowledge just then when you said that was he does have 2 first names.
Oscar Allen.
True.
Yeah, so when you said Alan, I was like, who's Alan?
Alan.
Oscar Allen. So I don't know if we can trust him, but I'm sure we can.
Another question. This isn't for Oscar or Alan. This is for Hamish.
That's my name.
Hammer. Can you take over another company that I novated through currently? So he currently has a novated lease to another salary sacrifice.
It's one of those other losers.
Yes. Can you take that over?
Yeah, come and we'll refinance. Hit me up.
Matt Harris, contact
Matty
Hamish.
Harris, contact me and we'll try and sort you out.
Paywise.com.au. Now, boys, a couple of issues in footy land this week. Biggest one I saw, and it bloody pains
Disgraceful.
me. No, you can't say that about a backman. You can't.
Nah, you call out this action. This is disgraceful.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hate it every second of it.
I would expect so much more from a backman I respect.
Very good backman.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
And you'd like to think this is the sort of forward midfield type operation.
I wouldn't expect anything less from that shithouse football club at the moment. That fucking shithole of a stain that is the Melbourne Demons. Seriously, what the fuck has happened to that club?
I don't really want to go. It's not hard about Stephen May, but Stephen May has been fined $1,800 for staging in a tackle late in the game against North Melbourne. All the momentum going their way. Tackled, spun around 2 times. Umpire watched it all happen. Thrown to the ground, landed on his shoulder. Thought, shit, I'm going to get done holding the ball here. Threw his head to the ground. Held his head like he'd had a sledgehammer slashed across it. And he got the free kick. The umpire got sucked into it.
It was fucking disgusting.
It was bad.
Take him off. Sorry, mate. Your head's hurting. Have 20 minutes to fucking do a head concussion test.
What's the difference, though, with that and a forward running in, on the lead and a back giving him a little nudge and him flying forward and milking a free kick that way?
I would say nothing.
Just as
but
shit
you
as
wouldn't.
each
You
other.
wouldn't say that's a shit act.
Yes, you would.
You'd go, that's just taking advantage of the umpire.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
I think the difference is if he was to get suspended or reported for that.
I mean, $1,800 is not nothing.
That's true.
I think there's an easy way to get this out of the game.
Charlie Curnow got done for flopping a couple, or someone got done for flopping as a forward.
The dive forward.
The dive forward, yeah.
Was it Alex Rance got done.
Yeah,
one
Alex
year.
Rance got done.
Maybe they're targeting Backman. Alex Rance is one of the best Backman. Look, there's an easy way to get this out of the game. If you get tackled, if you're in a free kick and you hit or hurt your head, right? You hold your head as if it's hurt. You've either hurt it and you need to be off for an assessment, right?
Or you're lying.
Or you're faking and you can get off as well. So anyone holding your head, you either need to go off and have it assessed because you're injured, or you're faking and you're making it up. See you later. That would get rid of any staging.
Yeah, correct. Because is $1,800 going to stop another?
No, he'll do it again.
No,
absolutely not.
Yep.
Peter Dangerfield got a week as well for that.
That was a big
Did you
one.
see that?
That was big. There was genuinely ricocheted Sam Walsh's head.
So you're not happy with Melbourne Footy Club at the moment?
No, mate, they're a fucking rabble.
Okay.
They're giving the Angus Brayshaw Award away for fucking spirit and all the rest of it, and they've got blokes staging for free kicks holding their head. They've got fucking They challenged Cozzy. Oh yeah, we're all about protecting the head, and Angus Brayshaw did such a stalwart of this club and was a fucking legend. But we're going to try and get a bloke off who jumps high and elbows someone in the fucking head.
When are they giving the Angus Brayshaw award out?
I hope they don't. I hope Angus rings him and says, "Fucking take my name out of your fucking mouth." I hope that's what he does, and goes in there and takes his fucking helmet back.
It's still, I've seen him touching it.
It's still there.
I've seen him touching it.
With the exception of Max Gawn at the moment, they're a rabble.
I
He's a
love
pretty
it.
good player.
I bloody love it. I tell you what
Ben Brown too.
Did you boys see the Port Adelaide game
No.
at all? It was a bloodbathing.
No,
Brisbane have absolutely
They're
just
back?
stirred up a big blood. Brisbane are back. That's number one.
Tipped
Port
them for
anytime. What have you tipped?
them to be in the grand final. I told you it happened.
Oh, you
you
did
did
tip
too.
that.
Just making them run at the right
There's a
time.
fair point, Dan. Every time Ken Hinckley's face came on the
Poor
big screen,
Ken. Fucking
the,
poor Ken.
the entire stadium was booing.
That's disappointing.
Like they were getting right up and about and booing.
It's not what you want if you're the head coach of a football club and your contract's in talks, and you don't want to be booed every time you get looked at.
I don't think I've ever played in a situation where that's been the case.
What, where your head coach is...
Gaffy? Every time Gaffy got the ball against Freo, gets booed?
Yeah, I suppose Gaffy's one of them. And I thought that was pretty fair enough. Is this one fair enough, though?
No.
So Ken Hinckley
They
was
just
asked
hate
about
him.
this after the game, and he said, fair enough, it comes with the job, been here before.
Doesn't come with the job, mate.
Yeah.
That doesn't come with the job. Getting booed every time you get your face shown doesn't come
I
as
haven't
part
seen
of
that ever happen.
Not for a coach.
No. The
Wonder if-
contrast
wonder
is,
what the
which is
players
just
would
funny,
say.
which is probably just shows what Eagles fans are like.
Simo got cheered.
And like they were making Facebook groups like I stand with Simo, and like there was 10,000
Yeah.
people in it talking
I
about.
stand with
And we'd
Simo.
won
We've
4
one
games in 3 years.
I reckon
Yeah.
if you boys rolled out this year and you started dishing up that
Oh, yeah, he would've
like
been-
consistent, I don't reckon the Facebook groups would have been getting too much traction.
Pretty hard to support then if you were 0-15.
Correct. Optus Stadium, I called this game on the weekend. That is in atrocious nick.
Why? Like
You-
the greenskeepers are literally, that's probably their full-time job.
Yeah, I know. So I don't want to. I'm not calling for anyone's heads here. I'd like right. So
Sack them all. Fuck them. They're shit. The ground sucks.
did you see how many blokes slipped over on the? It was perfect weather. It gets quite. I don't know how to say this. Like it's very shady. There's a lot of shade on one side of the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
But because of where the sun is, right?
That makes sense.
That
Makes a lot of sense.
close. I did tell you I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
The close side of the ground is like constantly in shade, maybe maybe an hour or two of the day, and it feels like a cricket pitch. I walked out there on the weekend. It feels and looks like a cricket pitch. You know, when you're out in the middle of some suburban oval and you've got clay,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And it's like grass kind of
Ugh.
crushed into it. It looks like they've got a roller over it.
Yeah.
And so when a player steps on it, it's just like you just can, it's
Flaky.
the shooting stars meme, just blokes
Yeah.
going off all directions.
It didn't look good on camera. It didn't look good in person. And it isn't good.
So in the waffle on the weekend, the Peel Thunder West Perth game,
Yep.
they had to move where they were throwing the ball up because the ground was in such bad
we
nick.
do that. That happens all the time. That'll happen
Repainted
in the next 2 or 3 months at level level. You'll see that happen.
It's like amateur
regularly.
football areas.
Cool. Well, yeah.
Well, you're not amateur football.
No, we're not. But
It's state league.
I know. But the center of the ground, our ground's a bit different because we get
Subi, East
Subi,
Perth.
East Perth, Waffle, W, Waffle. Like there's every night there's a training session there. Every
Right.
weekend there's
a lot
like
of use.
3 or 4 games.
Big cow paddock.
Yes, it's fucking it's shit. And the council there don't ever want to re-sow the whole thing, so they just do little patches.
You know what I hear all the time with this stuff though? You hear one of the boys wearing the long studs,
Oh, you
right?
know
I
what?
hear the metal studs.
You're allowed
You
to,
can't
right?
wear metal studs firstly.
Well,
anymore.
you can't metal, but why aren't you wearing the long stops? It's like back in the day, they used to have.
The ones that you used to like air out your grass.
Yeah, the fucking acrylic nails, except put them on the
but
bottom of your
the boots now,
boots.
you'd be still like I'm not wearing boots anymore, but you'd be wearing boots. Like
Yeah, I'm wearing boots.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I wear boots.
It's not the boots.
No.
Right.
It's the ground.
Like if you go back in and you change out of whatever,
Yeah,
but what
if
boots
you
do you
get
wear?
it-
What boots do you wear?
I wear Nike Tempos.
Right.
If I get an extra half a centimetre of stop,
Yes.
it's not stopping.
You're not running fast enough to be
I'm not
falling
running.
over.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's not stopping shit grounds.
Yes. Okay.
What are we gonna do about it? Write an email. What?
Well, I mean,
Spin the stadium.
what do you mean we're going to
Get
do about it?
better
We're going to
sun.
talk about it on something that.
Yeah, but like things need to be done. Otherwise, something like.
Are you asking me what am I going to do about it?
Actions.
What are you going to fucking do
Actions,
about
mate.
I
it?
just mean like
Actions.
we as a society, like we need to obviously they need to fix it. It's not being addressed.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I need to make.
I tell you what I think.
You.
Optus.
I got an
Call
idea.
Optus up.
I got an idea. That little bit that's always in the shade.
Yes.
Let's get some mirrors for the day. Let's
Oh,
get some
yeah.
mirrors that will bounce the light off the top stand and just point it that way. You don't need the mirrors up the top.
That's not
I mean, you
bad.
don't need the light up the top.
That's a
not
really
during
good
the
idea.
game,
There
obviously.
you go. Fix it.
But just during the days, let's get some mirrors.
Heat it up, you reckon?
Heat it up. Get some
I
mirrors.
think it seems too wet.
yeah,
Like,
it seems damp. Oh,
it
you're
seems
right.
like wet and damp and
Yeah.
shady. Like
They have
need
the
to
sprinkles
light it
on
up.
all the time.
It's what it looks like. It wasn't wet. It was
No,
like
it was-
slipping all over the place.
It was moist.
Hey, Freo were good on the weekend.
You reckon?
Oh, your brother was.
Well, he was very
I
good. It was
thought-
best
very
game of the year.
May I have him as captain of my dream team. He fucking absolutely won me the game.
Nice.
Why was he good? Did you have a word to him? 'Cause
No.
we spoke about him on Friday.
He was sick during the week. So
See,
he's had a bit of a...
uh,
That's, yeah. he's
Bit of
had-
rest. So he
a
was
bit of a
sick
rest.
and he was underprepared and he played well.
Yeah, sick and underprepared, and he played well. No, he...
I'll tell you why. If you're not going to say it, they played their best midfield at centre bounce. Almost every centre bounce.
with the
Brace-
exception of 10 minutes in the third quarter where he didn't touch the ball.
Okay,
He
but
kicked one goal and then went forward.
yeah, but Brayshaw, Young,
Yeah.
and Sarong were at most centre bounces.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah,
they were
shocked
good from centre bounce.
Centre bounce, yeah. No, you're right. It was refreshing to see him in there for a bit. But I think what was good to see was he was back to his tackling best. Like he was running down. That run-down tackle he did on Took, it was
Yeah.
like he was aggressive around the contest. He was strong. He was running both ways and finding the Sharon,
Yes.
introducing himself to the ball. So it was just good to see him back.
So Freo played an extra midfielder, as did West Coast. I watched them both. They both played an extra mid through a rotation. So I don't know if East Perth do that, but you would have played in other teams.
Yep.
Is it good for mids to... Do you like having an extra person to rotate through and like spend a little bit more time forward? Because like Freo did, and that's why Young kicks three.
Yeah,
and
it's good.
Brayshaw kicks a
It's good
goal.
when you're winning. It's definitely good when you're getting looks inside 50. It's good, but when you're not, it's like fuck. You just want to be around the ball,
Right.
and you're you're forward.
Right.
Is that why the West Coast game looked like there was a different set of people in there for every centre bounce?
Yep.
It felt like there was just a different look every time.
Yeah.
They
so
also tried to get Liam Ryan in there, which worked.
That was
He good.
awesome.
He
Well,
really good.
I mean, it did work apart from the first set of
First
bounce
bounce.
where he
Ran
ran the
the
wrong
wrong
way.
Yep. That was a bit silly.
He was
Well,
on.
they had him, Brockman, Duggan,
Yep.
and Petrocelli.
Shelley came through.
Duggan
there
was
for a
so
bit.
good.
Yeah,
Duggan
Freo
was
did
good.
it too as well. Last little one looking around the leagues at the moment, Hammer. Liam Baker, Shea Bolton.
Come home, boys.
They both met with West Coast in the bye. Boy, oh boy, wowee. So I know everyone will want to talk about it. Oh, with West Coast are getting them, blah, blah, blah. I think what's more relevant is Shea Bolton, and you'll know this, Hammer.
Yep.
He is a Paywise ambassador.
He's a Paywise
Ooh.
ambassador.
So I think
Yeah.
Paywise, together with BackChat,
Yes.
need to put a campaign together to bring Bolton BackChat back to
Western
West Coast.
Australia.
Yep.
Or just like a free battle. Like I don't know what's.
I think. I mean, I'm sure that he'll be offered some deals, but I think if a BackChat hat or two were to come his way, that might sweeten something.
I mean, he's
Sweeten the
certainly
deal.
not a backman, Shea Bolton.
No,
No, he's definitely not.
Liam Baker playing a back flank in the premiership, I'm pretty sure.
I'll
Yeah,
happily
exactly. He
have
can get a
Liam
back
Baker
chat
out. Because I think West Coast desperately. I don't know about Shea Bolton playing. Is he going to want to come to play at West Coast? Isn't he? I thought there was some links with him with Freo.
I think he should go to Freo.
That makes more
He'd
sense,
Be very
and-
good there.
and Baker makes more sense at West Coast. Would you, if you were still at West Coast, would you be hitting up Baker like a DM saying, "Hey man, like what is that? How does that work with a player to player? Can you try to convince him to come home?"
So,
Well, if you're mates with him,
so
I wouldn't be texting you if I didn't know him. I was
This-
also shit.
this pre-season, season just gone. I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to say it. This pre-season, some players from West Coast took a potential free agent at the end of this year coming. Took him out for beers. Took,
Yeah, I
took
know
him
that.
out for golf.
Yep.
Wined and dined him effectively.
Yeah, you
Hey,
can,
but
do, you can do that.
this is what the club's about. come to us.
Yeah.
Do we like that?
I don't mind it.
I like it.
Put your best foot forward, no question.
I like it.
What's there not to like about it? That's because you're not allowed to, obviously as a club, you're not allowed to contact.
Yeah, I don't
player.
think it's a bit of a well.
It's
if
not-
they're having tours around the club, if Shea Bolton and Liam
Yeah,
Baker,
that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, at the end of the day, they're professional athletes that are trying to make as good a deal for themselves as they can.
All right, Mitch Taylor's just contacted us from Instagram. He's watching live over there, I
Huge.
believe. Does this look like Hammer with a black eye? Can we have a little bit of a look at this one? Oh, okay.
That's Gov.
That's not us.
Gov,
Can you
that's
turn that
Will.
off, please?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Does this look like Hammer with a black eye image from Seas?
Oh, my God.
What is this?
Ah.
This is from Seasonal Brewing Co. Fried Chicken Box.
That is me with a black eye, a little bit.
Looks a little bit like Bam Margera as well.
Bam, yeah.
A KFC Bam Margera. Does that mean you sort of look like a...
Yeah.
The when this was sent in, which was during the Oscar Allen interview, the reaction that
The reaction was
I
like,
felt,
that's exactly me. But
I thought I was going to be looking at Hamish Brayshaw. I'm a little underwhelmed by that,
Oh,
fellas.
from the reaction from the boys?
Yeah, the boys up
yeah,
and
they were
out
like,
about
it's spot on me. I mean, it sort of looks a
Now
bit
they're
like
filthy
me.
that we don't like it. Oh, I'll tell you, boys. I don't know if I see it.
No, I certainly see it.
I see it, but I don't
Yeah.
believe it. Hey, before we let you go, Hammer, I've got to get through this.
Oh, yeah,
I've got to
this
get
is
through
huge.
this. Let's listen to our friends from TABtouch.
You've got the touch. You got the power.
BackChat Backman of the Year, thanks to TABtouch.
Jack Buckley medal.
It is absolutely well and truly heating up this one. This is where we award the best backman in the comp, the Jack Buckley medal,
There
of
it
course,
is. The Jack Buckley
coined
medal.
by the Perth Mint.
Who wants
Thank
that?
you very much.
The Jack Buckley medal, isn't it just
Get the
gorgeous?
shine off it so that
Brilliant.
people can see it. There
Oh,
we
there
go.
you go.
Wowee. It has a set in, I was going to say set in stone, set in metal. Some
Silhouette of
I'm
Jack.
assuming it's gold.
I think it's
Is it
silver.
gold?
I think it's
I
pure
don't know.
gold.
I think
I think it is
it's
exactly
titanium.
that. I'm just looking at this now. It's pure gold, valued at probably
7 million?
priceless.
Yeah.
Backmen around the competition are vying
It's
for this
coveted.
one. We
It's
spoke
coveted,
to
that's for
Sam
sure.
Collins before his big game against the Freo
yeah.
Dockers,
And he loved it.
I didn't get down to the ground pre-game for Fox Footy, but I had to run down there for a halftime cross. As I'm running down out the race, I am coming up the race as Gold Coast are coming down. And I'm sort of like, I don't really want to make eye contact
Dap
with
'em
anyone.
all,
Yeah.
I was in like suit. They're all
Yeah.
they're getting pants at halftime. Like,
Yeah.
doing that, like looking down. And I was like, fuck, I better just have. I just looked up and just honestly, there was 23 players, and I locked eyes with one of them and one only, and it was
Sammy
Sam Collins.
Brilliant.
We winked at each other.
Just
Right?
a tip of
No,
the
it
hat.
wasn't even a wink. It was a wink from me because I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, mate. And he just he knew I was there and said hello, but he was like,
Business
Yeah.
time.
well, it's business. We're getting
Yeah,
our
we're
pants pulled
getting,
down.
we're getting.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
we're
can't
getting
actually
pumped here,
acknowledge
yeah.
you, but he acknowledged.
But I would love to acknowledge you if I could, but I can't. So
All
I
right,
won't.
Backchat Backman of the Year. Votes, Hammer, before you get out of here, mate. How did they go
Mate,
down
yeah.
this week?
It was a big week for Backman. We had a record.
What?
Best game ever?
We had the best score ever. We've eclipsed Jack
In the
Buckley.
JBS.
Yep, we've eclipsed
Wow.
Jack Buckley, and I purposely didn't tell you guys this. So
I
that we
didn't know
could-
that at all.
So we could get a bit of a
So
live
the,
reaction.
so the JBS
The
best
JBS best score.
best game by Backman in the history
Best
of the
game
world
by well this year, and what under this current iteration
Yes.
of the JBS score,
was held by
the
Jack
algorithm.
Buckley.
Was held by Jack Buckley
Shock.
with an 8.8.
Ooh,
Right.
that's high.
With an
Out of
8.8.
is it out of
Nah,
10
it's not
or
out
is-
of any.
There's
Okay.
more decimal points to that as well. You've got
Yeah,
it
it's
going
like
at about
8.8674,
10.
and then that's if that was
3,
exactly
2,
what
1.
it is. Anyway, that it was Jack Buckley.
8.8. Okay.
8.8 was the score to beat.
So it's been beaten.
It's been beaten.
So one vote went to.
One vote went to Tom McCartan again.
Right, very
Wow.
good.
Exceptional
He's
game.
getting a couple of good one
He's getting a
voters.
couple of good one
I think
voters.
I got 3 last week.
He got 3 last week. He's getting on the board now.
Okay.
He's coming home.
He's
So is Sydney.
army.
Sydney are very good.
So
And they
Sydney played GWS and they smacked him.
smacked him.
Right, so Tom McCartan, one vote.
Tom McCartan,
Congratulations,
one vote.
Tom.
Congratulations.
Okay.
He was good. Really good.
I believe he's our Sydney backchat backman, no, or is it the Lizard? No,
It's-
not
no,
Lizard.
no, it's
Dan
Melican.
Ravi.
Melican.
It's
Sorry,
Melican. It's
sorry.
the Pelican.
Disrespect to Pelican.
You did
like that.
disrespect the Pelican. 2 votes, and this is concerning to everyone involved in this. Sydney are dominating the competition at the moment. They
Yes.
are running away with it. They're 3 votes clear.
Yes.
They're 3 games clear in first, and no one can touch them.
Yes.
It's getting a bit like that.
Why?
2 votes Harris Andrews.
Holy shit.
2 votes Harris Andrews, and he is flying.
He's first place. He's got 16 votes.
He's flying, and it's going to be tough to get him.
Yes.
So if you had to put your finger on it, why do you think he's leading the backchat backman of the year?
It's a good question. I think it's because he's the best backman in the comp. That would be what, if I had to put it down to it, he does the best things as the best backman in the competition.
So that just means the algorithm works.
The algorithm works, no question. And if you look at the top...
I'm looking at the top 5 right now.
The algorithm's set. The algorithm is...
you can't actually argue with it.
It's a peach, the algorithm. I've nailed it. Yeah. Exactly what you want for Dower defence. Now...
So 2 votes to Harris Andrews.
2 votes to Harris
Congratulations.
Andrews.
He pulls it away a little bit.
He just to give everyone clarity as to what the jump from 2 to 1 is. Harris Andrews scored a 5.8.
Right.
5.8. Great.
5.3.
Tom McCartan was a 5.6. So that was close.
Yep.
Your 3 vote getter got a 9.4.
Wow.
So 8.8 was the last.
8.8 was the highest coming into this. 9.4.
I don't know who this will be.
Tom Barras.
Holy shit.
Tom
so
Barras
good.
gets a 9.4. Now, I have to throw it up to you. The algorithm says, and one of the rules in the algorithm, if a like-for-like forward to back kicks 5, ineligible. Disqualified. Jake Stringer kicked 5. Is he like-for-like?
Well, I saw that game. I don't know if that was... I don't know if that was on Tom.
No,
it wasn't on Tom, but do you class Jake Stringer as a tall forward?
No, he's in between at best.
Yep, hybrid forward / mid.
He's the package.
He is hybrid forward / mid. Doesn't count. Tom Barras gets 3 votes.
Wow, well
he
done,
was
TV.
exceptional.
Really good. Can we get a highlight video? Do we have a highlight video?
I hope so, because he was fucking
We
good.
do.
Yeah,
Holy
we do.
shit. Wow.
Bang!
So many
See,
of
there's a
those.
package there. See you
There he
later.
is.
Look,
Wasn't playing it.
Can't
Look
look
at
at
that.
There's his man.
Bang.
Oh, wow. See, that was on Peter Wright.
Yep, that was on Peter Wright.
That's
Bang!
on
That's on
nobody.
Kyle
Holy
Langford.
shit.
That's a fucking good grab.
Wow.
That's on Harris. That's on Peter Wright.
Peter Wright.
Oh, look at that for a
spoil.
spoil!
Back fist.
Fucking hell!
Oh, my gosh. And the tackle.
Bang!
Oh, my God. Wow.
Fuck, that's a good highlight. He doesn't take that, does he?
No,
He
he
fucking
just
puts a
spoils
spoil
it,
in there, though.
Watch this one.
Oh,
Bang!
Forces that out of bounds on the full.
Fucking
Huge
hell.
tackle.
Yeah, he was
that's the
exceptional.
best highlight
That's the
reel
best
I've
highlight
seen.
reel
Yeah,
we've had.
very
And
good.
obviously it makes sense because he was the best. That's
He
the best score
bounced
we've
off a
had.
guy and used his other hand to spoil it.
It's the
Incredible.
best BackChat Backman score we've had all year. 9.4 is the score to beat.
He was incredible.
Well, it makes sense what the leaderboard looks like right now then. First place, Harris Andrews on 16 votes. Second place, outright second, Tom Barras, 11
Well done.
votes.
Well done.
Third place, equal third, Alex Pearce, 9 votes. Sam Collins, 9 votes. So they knew about it
They
out there.
did know about it.
Alex Pearce cracked his shit so he knew he wasn't getting votes, broke his arm, I believe.
Did it on purpose, yeah.
He was like, well, I can't win it. No one can. I especially can't. Sam Collins on 9 and Jack Buckley rounding up the top
On
5.
6.
That's an incredible top 5.
That is a top 5.
Yeah.
If you just literally couldn't. It's like the Brownlow medal. We'll get to the end of the year. The Brownlow medal will have the best 5 midfielders as your 1 through 5.
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's a system that works to pick the best midfielder of the year,
Yes.
essentially. This is it.
Yes,
for the
this
back.
is it.
That is the best 5 Dower defenders in the comp.
You
No
know that
question
other,
about
that
it.
other thing that they talk about, the Golden Fist. Do they do like a leaderboard? Or is
Oh,
that
that's
just
the
a weekly
stupidest thing ever.
knows? Who
I think Nick
cares?
Dacos is winning that.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh,
He
boy.
won it last
Hey,
year,
before you leave, look, I said, I don't know how I feel about it. I'd like to put it out to the people, to be honest, whether or not we stick with our guns or we just keep going back to the well here. But we went again
It didn't work.
to have a team hold the opposition forwards to no more than 3 goals or above for an individual.
Yeah.
We went with the Freo Dockers, who had a great win.
They had
Yeah,
a fantastic
great
win.
How many goals they limit their
Yeah, they
opposition
kicked
to?
11.
11 goals.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Days popped up and kicked 3 on a debutant, I might say. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
So
You know- yeah.
so the bet doesn't get up, but I believe we had our money back.
Yeah,
We did
because
get
I
our money
think
back.
if they didn't score more than 70 points, we got our bet.
Do you wanna
back.
know
They
what
scored
really
65,
hurts?
And
We got our money back.
they had a chance to score a goal in the last 20 seconds, and he missed.
Yeah, it was the backman. It
Yeah.
was the
Do you want to know
backman.
what
Threw
really
them off.
hurts?
Pressure. The
You know what
backman.
really hurts that? If you were to think like Freo, they should have limited Gold Coast to less than 3 goals as any one individual.
Yeah.
If you had to say who is the one backman who can control a backline and keep any opposition forward under 3, who would you say it is? It's probably the reigning BackChat Backman medalist.
Jack Buckley.
Sydney didn't. No one for Sydney kicked.
You're kidding.
No one for Sydney kicked more than 2.
But they won by
2 goals was your highest.
We
for
really
Sydney.
needed to go there. Don't
2
we?
votes.
Maybe we need to look at the
Two.
BackChat Backman of the year, and we need to pick one of those sides.
2 goals was you. 2 goals was the
Who are
biggest.
Brisbane playing this week?
Let's have a little.
Demons. Oh, there you go.
Thanks very much. We're going again.
We're
Harris
going again.
Andrews and
Harris
the
and the
boys.
boys.
They're stopping him. Bailey Fritz, you're going to
and
get 2 touches
Friday
again.
night 42.
Yeah.
I just mention him, and I'll probably get it to the backman. But Hugh Davies debuted.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Mate, so everyone
Loved him.
Great game, and I called the game, and I kept talking about him. He was doing dower acts, he was
Yeah, yeah.
smothering, he was taking, He was just gaining respect from his teammates.
He put the ball out of bounds deliberately and made it look not
Yeah,
deliberate.
he was great.
And Luke Ryan, I've never seen him happier with someone.
Mate, this is his stat line, and this is why I'm so proud, because everyone thought, what a game.
Yep.
One disposal, one handball,
He had that like 4 minutes into the game.
one
not even.
tackle. That's it. No marks. No narcs, nothing. No hit outs.
He had his
One tackle, one handball.
He had that one tackle and that one handball.
Mate,
no
I
more
thought
than
he
3
played
minutes.
well.
No more than 3 minutes into the
I
game.
thought he played bloody well. He did.
He did.
Oh, how good.
3 minutes into the game, he would have had that touch.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Hammer, you're off
Yeah, I
the
gotta go.
training.
I had to go
and
15
we're gonna
minutes
hear from
ago.
our friends at Paywise. Bye, Hammer.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm a backman.
Hi, I'm Gov, and I'm a Paywise ambassador.
And you're a backman.
And a Paywise ambassador. And a lot of people are always asking me what a novated lease is about.
What exactly do you tell them about, mate? Spoiling, winning premierships, all Australians, mate. It's all you're good for. You're a backman.
Yeah, and more. Skelly, you're a big dog in the media now, arguably the biggest in Australia if you ask yourself. I've spoken to a lot of Paywise customers, and I'm a man of the people.
Is that right, man of the people? What do you speak to the customers about? Your All-Australian jackets you won while I was playing on your man in the back line?
I wouldn't even know where my All-Australian jackets are, actually. But I do know the best way to get a new car is through Paywise novated leasing.
Is that right?
Guaranteed.
Tell you what, champion, you sound like you know a lot about novated leases. Tell me all about it.
Well, novated leases allow you to pay for your car using pre-tax income. So you pay much less tax and save heaps of money.
Save heaps of money. Now, it's all starting to make sense why Moneybags McGovern wants to get involved.
No, I'm serious. It does not matter how much money you make. Novated leases from Paywise allow you to make one payment each payday. And that covers your vehicle finance, insurance, registration, fuel, servicing and tyres.
You right there, mate? You better tell Maddie then, because she runs all your bank accounts, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does, and as you know, Skelly, happy wife, happy life. We made it. There's a calculator on the Paywise website that shows you what the costs are based on the type of car, your salary, how much you drive. Check it out and find out how much you'll save with Paywise.
Does the calculator calculate how much of your contract you're going to have to give to Harley to keep in the club next year?
No, it depends how his back holds up, because I've been carrying you for the last 10 years.
Okay, righto. Well, we're backmen. We love Paywise. If you want to find out more, contact Paywise today about novated leasing. Any danger of you actually letting your lines, big fella?
I am a backman, not a lineman, a backman.
We know.
Yeah, I know. We all know.
All right, Hammer's back.
That was back for the BackChat back page.
I'm back for yeah.
He just sat down and started doing a Rubik's Cube. So you're going to watch him do that while I read to you the biggest news that you'd never heard. You should have, though. Channel 7 star Abby Holmes, defiant act in wake of AFL kiss scandal. Right. Why does she have to be defiant? Surely she can do whatever the fuck she wants with this. Jesus Christ.
She can.
Channel 7 presenter Abby Holmes heard all the noise, and on Friday night she delivered a middle finger to her detractors. Wowee, Abby.
Wow, literally.
The former Adelaide Crows AFLW star turned presenter. So I when I read these, Dan, I try to fix spelling mistakes because sometimes our producer Nick just. This is what it says. The former Adelaide Crows AFLW star turned presenter. But then in brackets it says, this is how it's spelled like in the article, if you would like to talk about it. Found herself in the middle of an AFL storm following a round 13 post-game embrace with Lachie Neale. Holmes interviewed Neale after the Friday night game before he gave her a peck on the cheek. While the pair are friends off the field, the seemingly innocent exchange appeared to rub some commentators the wrong way. It ultimately saw both Holmes and Neale address the backlash to the moment before Holmes went a step further following Carlton's win over Geelong. As she stood on the MCG talking with Blues ruckman Tom de Koning, the duo spoke about the young stars' form before they embraced with a kiss on the cheek.
There you go.
Holy
well
shit.
Done.
Double down.
The act was clearly a defiant message to any detractors
Stick it to
following
the
the
fucking
absurd
man, Abby.
storm that ensued after her moment with Neale. Is that what that is? Fuck you, everybody. Seriously. This one's the last one on the BackChat back page. Adam Simpson says, away form will come down to mindset as West Coast Eagles prepare for Essendon Challenge. Apple... Why? Hang on. I'll wait for this song to finish. I'm a bit rattled by the start of this one. Apple crumble will still be on the menu as West Coast look to drastically improve their record away from home.
Wow.
Starting with Sunday's AFL clash with Essendon at Marvel Stadium. This might seem stupid to you, Nick, but I've got to follow up with it. Rather than tinkering with too many things on a away trip, Coach Adam Simpson believes better performances will come simply by having a stronger mindset. If you start talking about we've got to get rid of the desserts because there's too much apple crumble, we've done all of that in the past. That's the end of the article. They fucking certainly have, Nick and Dan. They took the dessert away. About 2019, 2020, Simo took dessert off the menu. So
good.
Mate, he took it off and couldn't have dessert. I had to go down to fucking 7-Eleven every night and get myself fucking dessert. Far out.
Child, why do you need dessert?
Mate, it's a buffet dinner and you get dessert.
What, how often do you eat dessert at home?
Never.
Yeah.
You sound like Simo, mate. Mate,
It makes sense.
For 12...
What's
listen,
for dessert?
you don't have to ask at a buffet, mate. It gets put
yeah,
out.
you get put out.
Right.
Do whatever you want.
I don't have to ask anything.
What's for dessert?
Mate, 12... No, I don't think you get this fucking thing. For 12 years, we had dessert, and then Simo fucking goes, no dessert. As if that was going to change our win-loss record.
Yeah, devastating.
So now it's back on the fucking menu. I'm absolutely shocked and flabbergasted. There's bloody chocolate mousse. There was fucking apple crumble was there.
Ice cream?
Mate, what's
Always
it?
ice
Sticky
cream.
date pudding was out on the
sticky date
on the
pudding was
menu.
good.
Do you have fairy bread?
You tell me.
gotta
Dan's
go to
fucking
training, you
in
keep
the
going.
fucking fairies by yourself. Oh,
He's finished it.
wow.
That's really impressive.
Really
Hamish has
good.
just walked out the door
That's the BackChat back page.
with a completed Rubik's Cube.
I'm,
Very good.
I'm hungry now. I can't believe that they have put dessert back on the menu. And if you're going to make another kid's joke, like I think you've demonstrated that that's how you feel about it. You keep going on about it.
It's just that my children ask for dessert. I've never once thought, what's for dessert?
Yeah, but you do live with your parents, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's good.
You could ask mummy for dessert if you wanted to, unlike the rest of us fucking out here in the real world.
Just pay hundreds of dollars less.
Yeah, I know. Out in the real world, where we're putting up for ourselves. Now, okay, footy tips thanks to the Alford $250 voucher to Montana's men.
I swear they've won it before.
Have they?
Nick's
saying yes.
Nick's giving me a not
Well,
confident.
take your $500 voucher and clean them out. That's what I say, right? If you're good enough to do it, this isn't a potluck thing. Yeah,
Go again.
Absolutely. And take us again. Montana, I believe, is in charge of this account. 6 from 6, 23-point margin. 6 from 6. Was there any...
Friday night game was a bit of a blowout.
Yeah, but was there any difficult ones? I mean, Freo, Essendon, no. Melbourne, Sydney, no, all the favourites won. Brisbane at Port Adelaide was probably underdogs. Okay, well done, Montana. That'll be yours. Thanks to the Elford Hotel, just here in Mount Lawley, just up the road from our studio, actually. So,
Just knock on the door.
a bit thirsty
Invite us
sometimes. Hey, a couple of emails to get through, Dan. Do you want to get into these? I've been doing a lot of talking today.
Yeah, I'll read this first one here. Hey, fellas, my oldest son is currently playing Year 1 Auskick and has been playing good. He's kicking goals in the forward line and even from the midfield, which is all well and good. But as we all know, defense wins premierships, and that's why he now wants to practice spoiling the ball. I'm not the strongest of fellas, but for a 6-year-old, he packs a solid punch.
Love it.
He's got. Oh, there's a video. Let's have a look at this. Right, here we go.
Oh my God! That scared the shit out of me. Give
This
it
is
to
good.
him.
Oh, that's a good technique. A lot of swing.
Oh, how's the noise from the dad? Listen. Oh, that's brilliant.
Very good.
Bloody
now
good.
this weekend gone, I couldn't attend his Auskick. I had to look after our twin daughters.
Oh, God.
So when he came home with Most Courageous Award for his team and the description saying for supporting the backline,
Bloody
I was proud as
brilliant.
punch. I asked him what he did in my head, picture him spoiling the ball while giving a gentle ear massage. He goes on to tell me their best player, who is so much better than me, Dad, kicked for a goal, and I ran to the goal and marked it on the line.
Oh.
I told him that was awesome and great work, but deep down, I wanted to sit him down and tell him that's not how you will win the Buckley.
Wow, that's bloody
Still
brilliant.
proud from Stephen. That's a great email.
Well done. Did we get the name of the kid? It doesn't matter. That was brilliant stuff, Stephen. Well done. You're an excellent father. An excellent father.
Very
well
good.
done.
That's so good.
We can start shows like that. That's brilliant.
very good. This next one is from I can't remember.
Elliot Friedman.
All right. Good morning, fellas, and Dan. Love your work and love being a
About
patron.
time someone brought that back.
Yeah, come on. Just wanted to draw your collective attention towards the NHL Stanley Cup Final, which will conclude tomorrow morning with Game 7 between the Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers.
Right.
After what many think has been the greatest regular season in history, this may go down as the greatest final series in history.
So Elliot was our NHL correspondent.
Yes, that's right.
Giving us a bit of a lowdown on sports we didn't know anything about.
Exactly. The Oilers were down 0-3 in the series.
Wow.
I assume it's best of 7, and have won 3 in a row to bring it to Game 7, a feat which has only been managed 9 times in history before and never in the NBA.
Is this one of the teams that the chick was getting her cans out
Yes.
at?
I think we're about to get there. She was a fan of the Oilers. All this after the Oilers were also second last in the league and fired their coach in November.
Wow.
In short, we are on the cusp of what could be the greatest comeback in NHL history and maybe sports.
Wow.
This is the Eagles in 2018 coming back in the grand final if they had also made the finals after being second last in June.
Right.
There's also a factor of ice hockey being Canada's sport, yet a Canadian team has not won for 31 years. The Oilers have a chance to break that curse. The storylines all coming together are unreal. The crowds, the highlights have all been crazy. Tomorrow is unmissable. Let's go Oilers. Elliot Friedman. Not really. What happened to BackChat's foreign correspondence segment?
Should bring it back.
Yeah, we could.
Should bring it back.
Footy season's well and truly underway. Maybe when footy season's...
Sounds like a bit late for the NHL correspondent, given that it's the last Game 7.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh,
We got some... Is this live? Are we watching this live?
Are we allowed to do this?
What? Yeah, this is brilliant. What's happening? Great. I like it.
I can't follow ice hockey. It's too hard to follow
The puck
My
is
eyes aren't good
there.
enough.
It's on. Oh my goodness gracious me!
That's a save.
Did he save
in third
that?
period as well.
There's no goalie.
There's 20 seconds.
It was
to
a
go.
goal. It was a goal.
Oh. Oh, okay.
No, I think
so it
they
wasn't his
s- I
fault. He
think-
saved that, and then they scored.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
There you
thank very
go.
much.
We've got one more interview to get to.
Absolutely. So, fans v fans, we like to do this sometimes. Dan was a bit flat coming in today. I said, mate, I'll get you up and about. I'll get Rob from the Sash podcast,
Yeah,
which
thanks.
is
Rub it
Essendon's fan podcast. Does a great job over there, by the way. We thought we'd have a bit of a chat to him to finish things off from the West Coast Essendon game. So a big thanks to our sponsors, Paywise, TABtouch, Shelter Brewing Co, Whippersnapper Whisky, ID Athletic, Mamba Digital. Sign up as a Patreon. You know what to do in the back. Did I get it right?
No, yeah. I was going to interject before we get to the interview because I know what you're doing right now.
Great.
Sort of wrapping up, but
Yeah.
we do want to promote one more thing before we get to the
Great.
interview.
Yeah,
That's
give it
okay.
to me now.
Matt Wern on the podcast this week, sailing champion,
Yep.
Olympian. He's going to be at Paris
Yep.
this year.
Yep.
Part of our Path to Paris podcast series, which has started last week with one of hockey's greatest ever players and probably Australia's greatest ever hockey player.
Jamie Dwyer.
Jamie Dwyer scored the goal to get us a gold medal in Athens. It's great. So Mark Foreman's hosting that podcast for us.
I listened to a guest episode for a long time because
Yeah.
I don't like listening to myself.
Of course.
And I really liked it.
It's so good.
I can recommend.
So if you see that sort of stuff come up in your YouTube
Listen
feed
to
or your
BackChat.
podcast feed, and it looks a little different, it's still the normal stuff we do, but a little bit different because Mark Foreman's there and he's talking to Olympians. They're great chats.
Okay, and this one is with Matt Worm. We've got some highlights to show from
Yeah.
this.
I had 2 big scores already, so sort of not on the back foot, but I couldn't afford to have a bad race at all. And in those sorts of conditions, anything can happen. But at the same time, I was just in that zone again, was confident in my ability and just sort of had to keep executing basically and do what I needed to do. And I remember sort of halfway around the course, the guys that I needed to be behind me were behind me. And at least I'm in the hunt here to still win a gold medal. And I just remember the Cypriot who was closest to me on the points at that time just was super rogue and just sailed off to the other direction for no reason at all. And I guess that's the pressure of the games in some way. And that just opened up the points gap, really. And I remember crossing the finish line and remember having this sort of 3-way look with Blackers who was sitting in the coach's box and then looking at each other going like, has he just won? Like, what the hell's going on here? And obviously you don't want to be that person that celebrates early.
Wow.
Gold medalist.
Gold medalist. Bloody awesome.
You'll get that over on BackChat, which is where we are right now. Plenty of stuff happening on the Four-Wheel Drive podcast as well. Liam Duggan doing good things over there. The other co-captain. We get access to all the captains at West Coast.
Very good.
He's over there with Ronnie Dahl and plenty of other stuff. But here comes a big chat with Rob from the Sash. It's a good one. Dan gets all shitty towards the end. It's make sure you have a listen. Righto, big game yesterday, West Coast v Essendon. Dan is flat. I've got to be honest. Dan's coming here flat today, and I thought, who better to get on the podcast than a rival, not rival podcast, but rival fan,
Yes.
Rob from the Sash podcast. I was on this podcast a few weeks ago. Had a bloody brilliant time. Essendon are flying. The planes have fucking taken off, and they've beaten the West Coast Eagles. Rob from the Sash joins us now. Hello,
Hey,
Rob. How
Rob.
are you, mate?
Gents, great to be here. It's nice to have some plain chat on BackChat. And yeah, things are pretty good over here in sunny old Melbourne today, and happy to be a Plains man. Good to see you got your Plains colours on.
See
there,
the bombers fly up. Up. No. You don't get to be
You
turncoat.
can't start a song on me and not let me join
Hey,
in.
I'm just here to invigilate two fans talk to each
yeah,
other.
look, you had a good win. You're a top 4 team. You beat one of the worst teams ever. Like, well done. Like, we're celebrating.
Oh, so that's the end of the interview?
Something.
Like, I feel like
See you next time, Rob.
Like, seriously.
No, a lot of
Be bitter. Be more bitter, you idiot.
I am bitter because I feel like it was a very winnable game. We had 2 of our best players not playing. We travelled out to Marvel and really stuck it to Essendon because, like, there's so much talk about you guys being pretenders, and I think there's some look. You guys can't beat any good teams.
You
You're
got a
just
question
flat
for
track
him?
bullies.
You got a
No,
question
I'm
for
just
him?
saying things at him. I just want to start off with this. Whoever was commentating the game said that Jake Stringer, when he's hot, could be the best player in the competition, right?
Yep.
I posted the video of that on Twitter, and then I got abused for about 4 hours from your fans, like challenging that. Like, do you legitimately believe the package could be the best player in the comp when he's hot?
Maybe not the best player in the
We
comp,
said best
but
player in the comp.
Yeah, I mean,
Rob didn't say that.
Dwayne says a lot of things. We love Dwayne, but he says a lot of things. Best player in the comp? Maybe not. Is he one of the better players in the comp? Yeah, absolutely. It is contract year stringer, and contract year stringer always means that he drops some kgs, the goal average goes up, the possession count goes up, and in 4 or 5 weeks' time, he's going to sign a fat deal, and then that'll be it for the year for Jakey.
Yeah, and then he'll get fat. So I remember he played a game. I'm sure it was Darwin or Ellis Spring. It was his last contract year, and he was playing in the midfield, and he had like 30 and kicked 6, and he was unbelievable. And it was his last. Do you remember that game? I just remember that game.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Tell us a bit about how Essendon have gone this year, mate. You are the man to come to, and we talk about that. So the Sash, for those who don't know, biggest fan podcast run for the Bombers, run by Rob. What's the overall feelings of the Essendon fan base at the moment, mate?
Cautiously optimistic, I think, is where a lot of us are at, because things are going pretty well. But we know what happened last year, where we hit the bye in a pretty good position and then it started to unravel. And I think we were like 5th or something in round 17 before it absolutely fell apart. So we're all pretty happy because everyone tipped us to finish bottom 6. Some people even picked us to finish bottom 4. And we've exceeded expectations from, external people. Now it's just about us going, all right, we look good. Can it keep going? That's the one question we keep asking ourselves every single week. I'd like to think that it can. I like to think we're going to be playing finals, hopefully break the hoodoo drought of winning a final. But yes, we're all very aware what happened 12 months ago. And you go online and there's lots of comments, people like Dan saying we're pretenders, saying we're fake news, whatever you want to say. But the reality is we're beating teams, we're banking points, and we're sitting 3rd on the table, which not a single person who's listening or viewing this right now would have predicted.
Including you?
And it's nice. I had us finishing 10th. So I didn't see this coming. The overriding theme pre-season, when I spoke to different people, fans and media people, the overriding theme was there is too many ifs with Essendon. It's always, if this guy does this, if this guy does this, if this happens, it could work. What's been great is a lot of those ifs had happened. Ben Mackay has worked. Some young players have improved. Some guys have gotten back to their best. But pre-season, we're also going, will this work? We don't know. And so far, a lot of things are. But look, we're still a long way off it. I don't think we're going to win the premiership this season, but I'm starting to feel confident that maybe this is the year that we break the finals hoodoo. and get to week 2 of finals. I don't know what happens in week 2 of finals. I don't think they even play footy after week 1 of September, as far as I know. Looking forward
I don't
to
want to be the man to burst the bubble, Rob, but you could actually get to week 2 of finals and still not win a final.
I know. One of my listeners in the Discord just goes one day, he's like, I really hope we don't finish top 4 because the idea of losing 2 finals instead of 1 is just hell. And the thing that I'm really cut up about is that I've been saying to a few people for like a month, I'm like, oh, look, round 23, if Brisbane are no good and the season's over, that's done. But I'm now going, Brisbane are just going to roll us in a final. We're going to finish 5th, they'll finish 8th or something, and we'll just get rolled by the Lions. Like, that's where the dark part of me is right now. But hopefully that's wrong.
Well, I mean, one of the big hurdles you're going to have to get over in the back end of this season is not leaving Victoria for about 12 weeks. That must be really difficult, and I feel bad for your fan base that has to go through that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's nice. I mean, our travel fixture was front-ended as far as Victorian teams go. So 4 of our first 6 games were interstate, and then I think it was rough. 6 out of 10 for us, which I know obviously for you guys that's pretty common, but for a Victorian team, that's how it is. And because we're one of the Victorian sides who don't sell games interstate, that's where they're to play them. But, you know, apart from Brisbane, we've played all the other interstate sides bar Freo, and we've played all of them on their home decks. So, actually, except for the Giants, sorry. So there's 2 interstate sides we don't play interstate. The rest we all have. And, you know, like, if you've got a better place for us to play St Kilda, Dan, that's not in Victoria, I'd love to hear your suggestion.
Go to Tassie or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to Alice Springs. I don't know. But that's the way the future goes. It's funny. Like, a month ago, everyone's saying, oh, Essendon's got such a tough run home. And then we win a few more games. It's, they've got an easy run now. They don't leave Victoria. So it is what it is.
Yes, it is.
You must have been happy with a few performances yesterday. Sam Durham springs to mind as someone
becomes the best player of all time.
Just plucked out of a hat from somewhere unbeknownst in a mid-season draft. In mid-season draft day, right?
Essendon are the mid-season draft kings. Like, I think we should just trade every first rounder we've ever had for mid-season draft.
Ambrosio? Is he another one?
D'Ambrosio's mid-season draft. Will Snelling, who played a few seasons, it was pretty handy. It was a mid-season draft. Obviously, Sam Durham's looking like the pick of the litter. But yeah, he's just gone from strength to strength. It's actually quite funny. I was doing a bit of I was a bit drunk on Saturday night, and I was doing some receipts, scrolling back on SCN's pages, seeing where people predicted us. And I came across, it was a preseason prediction from, like, you know, all their big names. And Nathan Buckley said Sam Durham is going to be the biggest improver in the AFL. And I was like, wow, well done, Bucks. Like, I'll call out the wrong, but like, call out that, like, he's bang on there.
I remember seeing that about Sam Durham and thinking, I don't know if I really know who Sam Durham is. And Bucks was banging him up, and credit where credit's due. He looks like a Brownlow medalist.
Yeah, he looks awesome. It's crazy to think where he started. Like, his first game, he was this, you know, rangy, very athletic winger, and he looked so raw. And in his first game, he marked the ball about 15 metres out directly in front, and then literally shanked it out in the full. And we're all sitting there going, okay, this guy's maybe not it. And then last year, funnily enough, he was the one who kicked the goal after the siren when we beat Richmond for the first time in 14 years, whatever it was.
Yes.
And I know, I was sitting there going,
oh boy,
I know what happened in his first game. He might not kick this. I know he's directly in front. But look, like, credit to the development from the club, because I just saw him as a winger, but the club clearly went, this guy can attack the footy well. We can put him into the guts. And pre-season, like, I don't go to training at all, but the people who go to training were like, hey, Darren's playing in the midfield. Gee, he's actually, like, smashing up Parrish. He's smashing up Merritt. He's beating string into the footy regularly. I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here. And yet he's just getting better every single week. Like, his numbers were pretty low early season, like, you know, 20 touches a game, but he's starting to push it up to those numbers where the real, you know, big caliber names are. Look, maybe not a Brownlow year this year, but maybe in the next 5 years, who knows?
I don't watch many Essendon games when they're playing at home, but one thing I did notice yesterday was the crowd really gets into it. Love to boo. The Essendon fans love to boo, especially when there was one call that there was Nick Martin hit the post. He was directly in front, snapped the goal and hit the post. It went to Snicko. Then the like little wavelength came up, and the crowd was booing that they called it a point. Like, what are you booing at?
Oh, mate.
It hit the post.
I don't know if you've sat in the West Coast crowd,
yeah.
mate. You blokes know how to boo as well.
There was another one that someone played on when they were out of bounds. They played on and they had to call it. Yeah, had to do a throw in because he ran out of bounds. Again, the crowd's booing. Like, do you know the rules? What's going on?
I mean, look, who doesn't love a good boo? Like, it's a
we
bit
love
of fun.
it.
And like, honestly, I think one of the funnest things in AFL is booing the umpire at the centre bounce when he stuffs the bounce. Like,
so many in a row, so many.
That like I'm not going to name the umpire on the weekend, but there was a particular umpire who I felt didn't have a very good day.
Shocker.
And he shanked one of his bounces, I think in the second or third quarter, and the crowd just booed him so hard.
That's so funny.
This is great.
He had a stinker. That's
like booing forwards when they miss goals. Like that's like you know, like boo. Right. Like he's not trying. He's not trying to stuff it up. Boo! Get him off. Did you win any chance at any stage that you were going to win, Dan?
No, didn't. I just
you didn't.
Every time we got a sniff, you guys kicked a few goals. It was really annoying.
Rob, did you at any chance think you were in danger of losing that one?
There was a little moment there in the third quarter when you kind of sort of clawed it back, and I was like, oh, geez. Like,
I think it was 82 to 86 or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, geez, this is going to be one of those games. Like, it was funny. Like, I said to someone pre-game, they're like, oh, do you think we'll win? And I'm fairly certain, like, the two games you'd played at Marvel this year coming into the game, the Eagles' losing margin was like 70-point average or something. It was something wild.
Our average at Marvel was 55 points or something.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, I was like, in true Essendon fashion, we'll win, but it'll be under 10 points because that's kind of how we roll. But yeah, look, there was definitely some moments because you got a lot of looks at it. Like I think that's the concern for us coming out of the game is that there was a lot of time where Waterman, Allen, whoever else was playing end forward. For some reason, we turned Jamie Cripps into like prime Andrew Embley. I don't know how that happens every single time, but we just turned him into an absolute machine.
I would say Eagles fans say the same thing about Stringer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anytime he plays, whether it be for the Bulldogs or for the Bombers, he does great things. Hey, Rob, we're going to have to leave it there, mate.
Yes.
But brilliant stuff over at the Sash. I think there's definitely a space for a bit of fan interaction here somewhere down the track. I don't know, Dan, but I mean, you're the fan here.
Yeah, well, look, we just lost. I'm just filthy. We just lost. We should.
Well done. Onwards and upwards for the Bombers.
I get a Plains beanie, Dan.
Yeah.
In fairness, I did roll out the Plains on Fox Footy by request of yours truly, Rob. Correct?
Yes, you did. You did very well.
I'll tell you what. If you guys win a final this year, I'll buy one.
How about buy a membership?
No, I'm not going to buy membership. Wow. I'll buy a Plains beanie. If you guys win a final this year, I'll buy a Plains beanie.
Deal. I like that. Okay. I like that. Look, the AFL Facebook account is on the Plains bandwagon, so
is that right?
Get on board. It's playing time, everyone.
Bloody love it. Well done, Rob. Continue the good work and good luck in finals. I hope you win one.